Hello, my name is Emily Rose, and I'm a professional Lenormand and Tarot reader. And today we are here with your December forecast. Let's go ahead and dig into our cards. Here are the piles for our December forecast. Beneath each one of these is a message. And what I would like you to do is to take a deep breath with me. And select the pile that is calling most to you. We have the Mitten pile, the Snowflake pile, and the Trumpet pile. So take a moment to select the pile that your eye keeps returning to or that you keep having on refrain in your mind. Okay, if you selected the Mitten pile, then this is your message for December. So looking at the top card here, this is the area of your life that's going to come into prominence this month. And what we have here is the house. So home and family is going to become very important. Now, this can be the home that you live in, your immediate family, but it also can mean your extended family as well. Family that you, maybe your aunts, uncles, cousins, people like that. So the idea of family is immensely important this month. And, we are around the holidays, so it makes sense that this is coming up for some people. So that's the area that is coming into focus for the month of December for you. Now let's look at what you may experience this month surrounding the theme of family. We have the crossroads, the stork, the tree, and the dog. Okay, so this looks actually really positive for this month. What I'm getting is that in the past, there may have been some uncertainty or some type of divide within the family, or you may not have been sure which direction to go with certain aspects of your family life. And what I'm getting here is that a decision has been made, and the decision to move forward and grow something positive within the family has been selected. So I think of a tree as something that is very slow going in terms of growth, but it's very strong and durable. And it's also very reminiscent of family, like a family tree. So with the stork modifying that, what I'm getting here is that the decision has been made to move forward in this direction towards progress, towards a more connected family unit. And there's a dedication to this, and there's a kind of friendly atmosphere that's surrounding this. So I think overall this looks like a really positive month for you as it comes to family. And there is kind of some past stuff here that I feel like has been dealt with for the most part. We're not having a lot of unresolved things. It looks like you're ready to move forward in a new direction, in a progressive direction as it comes to your family. There's new seeds being planted, and you're definitely growing in the direction of connection, and there is a commitment and loyalty to that. So I think that this looks really positive for our Mitten folks for the month of December regarding family. Now let's go ahead and look at our tarot advice cards for the month of December. And the first card we have here is the Page of Cups, and then the Three of Wands. So what I'm getting here with the Page of Cups, this is just such a beautiful, open, positive card. Page of Cups is not coming into something with expectations. So as you're approaching your family this month, if you're going to family gatherings, having family over, conversations with them, it's important to just remain open. And this can be a little scary to be open in a kind of vulnerable way because we don't know how people are going to react or what they're going to say to us. But if you come in with this kind of genuine, open, positive energy, then people are going to respond positively to that typically. So this is just reminding you to remain curious, open, and not have expectations as it comes to this. The intention here that we're getting, or kind of what's coming across, is that there's going to be this opening with the family unit, and there's going to be this progress that's being made, and part of the way that's going to be made is through not placing expectations on people, being open, and allowing what happens to happen. The second card we have here is the Three of Wands. And unlike the Two of Wands, the Two of Wands is kind of dreaming about what's happening. The Three of Wands is about starting to actually move forward with it. So I feel like there may have been some indecision in the past about how to move forward with family, how connected to be, how not connected to be. And now a decision's been made and it's time to act on it. It's time to look forward. This is a very forward-looking card. We're not looking back. We're done with looking back for the time being. In the future, we're going to move towards a positive, connected family. We're going to be open and curious with this Page of Cups, and we are not going to look backward. That's kind of the important message for this month as it comes to advice for our Mitten pile. Let's take a look now at what we're being asked to leave behind in 2021. We're at the end of the year, so this is a good time to look at this. And we have the Nine of Cups reversed. So what I'm getting here is that instead of looking for other people to kind of fill up your cups, you're beginning to look within. And we're being asked to leave the idea behind that other people are going to be responsible for filling up our cups. Although they can certainly help us feel more fulfilled in life and happy, it's not necessarily their job to do that for us all the time. We need to look within ourselves to do that. The other thing too, I look at this card as a priorities card and really looking at what's important. We can have everything materially that we want, but if we don't have people that we feel connected to, if we don't have things that make us happy, there's really no point, right? So this is about leaving behind things that don't make you happy. It's really about the, Marie Kondoing it, things that don't spark joy. It's time to leave it behind. And clearly what we see here is that connection to family and certain people is important, but we're not going to look to those people and expect them to fulfill us. We're going to do that for ourselves, and then other people can just contribute to our happiness. So you're being asked to leave behind the idea that other people will make you happy. And also you're being asked to leave behind things that don't bring you joy and to really get your priorities in order. That's kind of the instruction for the Nine of Cups. What will make you happy? What will fulfill you? Those are the questions to ask yourself. And it seems like family is a key component to that. And by family, also what I mean is this could be your chosen family as well. You could decide to move forward in creating connections with people who aren't blood related to you. That can work as well. So don't feel like this just has to be your blood related family. It can be your chosen family as well. So regardless of if this is referencing your chosen family or your blood related family, the Nine of Cups is asking you to fill up your own cup. Don't have expectations for them, but allow room for them to contribute to your happiness. That's kind of the overall meaning here of the Nine of Cups reversed. Last but not least, let's take a look at the gift that we are being given at the end of 2021 here. So this is kind of what we're meant to learn and take with us into 2022. And we have the Two of Pentacles reversed. So again, I kind of see the idea of priorities coming up here and the fact that you can do it. You can do what it is that you want to do, but it's going to take some time management. It's going to take some balancing. And with Pentacles, I think that this is kind of physical in a lot of ways. It's going to take some planning, getting into your calendar and actually planning when you are going to do the things that are important to you. And this especially relates to family and spending time with the people that it makes sense for you to spend time with, that you want to spend time with. It's saying you can absolutely have a balance in life, but it's going to take some work and some planning. So you're kind of being given this, and I feel like this is something that you may have learned this year and something to carry with you into 2022 to truly make the best of what you are being given here. I feel like this is an opportunity that's kind of being presented, and something that, you know, you have worked for in a lot of ways. What I love about this is usually with family kind of readings, we get this kind of past heaviness or pain that can be associated with it. And this is a very future focused reading. And it's really saying you can have the kind of family life that you desire if you are willing to not place expectations on people. And instead, you learn how to kind of fill up your own cups, and you are willing to make the time for what matters to you. And that is the overall message here for our Mitten folks. Next up, we have here our Snowflake pile. So if you chose the Snowflake, then this is your message for the month of December. To start out with, let's look at the area of your life that is coming into prominence this month, or what, you know, kind of the theme, what's going to be important this month. And what we have here is the stork. So the stork is all about progression. It's also about moving past things in search of something better, in search of something that is more positive. So that is the theme here, is progress. And as I was pulling cards, I intuitively felt like this is kind of a bigger message for stork and snowflake folks here, because this is, you know, we're at the end of the year. And so that's kind of what I was feeling intuitively as I pulled them. So let's see what we got here. So we have the garden, the whip, the man, the snake, the tree, and the key. So immediately what I'm getting here is that there's been issues with social life and with people that you are surrounding yourself with. The man I did not charge or assign meaning to be representative of you. I didn't charge this at all. So this is an uncharged card. And with the garden showing up, it's definitely showing that there's conflicts here as it comes to your social scene, with the snake modifying the man, that's coming across even more. So what I'm getting is that there are people in your life that have not, potentially not had your best interest at heart. You may have felt betrayed in some way, or you may feel betrayed this month, but also that the social situation you kind of have yourself in right now may not be working for you. And we are in the month of December, so, gatherings with people, you may be around more people than you're typically accustomed to. So this just may be a bit louder this month. But what I'm getting is that there's definitely issues with who you're kind of around this month. And also, I'm getting a sense of throughout this past year as well. What I do love about this reading, though, is our last two cards. We have the tree and then the key. So what this is telling us is that I'm getting a sense that there's been an outgrowing of the situation that you're currently in. You've outgrown it to some degree. And really the key here, the solution is not to get in the mix with these folks, not to really dig in and try to sort out and solve all the problems. The solution is that you've outgrown it, and it's just kind of, it's not time to engage with them anymore. So rather than quibbling and doing things like that, it's about just saying, I don't need this, I've outgrown this, and really focusing on yourself and where your personal growth is at, and kind of just leaving this behind in a way, and just choosing not to engage. You don't even necessarily need to cut these people off or anything like that. It's just a matter of you deciding you're kind of on a different plane of existence. And it's just about kind of moving on. The stork's all about rising above too, and and moving forward in a positive direction and not worrying about what other people are doing. I just don't even think you have to worry about this stuff anymore. It may feel like a really big deal this month. It may feel like you're kind of caught up in drama or you're hurt by what people have done. But the answer here is to just decide in a way, I've outgrown these situations and I don't need to engage with them. I'm going to focus on myself and my own personal growth, and that's how I'm going to rise above. That's how I'm going to progress. So that's kind of the overall message that we're getting for what you might experience this month, but I kind of feel like this is bigger. So as you're reflecting on the past year, you might want to take this into account. Who have you maybe outgrown? Who is not serving your best and highest good, or who may not have your best interest at heart? And it's time to perhaps take away the focus from those people in those situations and focus on yourself and your own growth. Next, let's look at our advice cards for the month of December for our Snowflake and Stork pile here. And what I am getting here is the Seven of Cups reversed and the World reversed. So there's a lot of inner transformation happening here with these two reversals. That's the first thing I'm getting. The Seven of Cups, upright is kind of a card of illusion and seeing what we, feeling like we're having a hard time making a decision as well, and that we are kind of tempted by things that may not be in our best and highest good. And what the advice here is that you know what is going to be beneficial for yourself, and you're not getting distracted anymore. I feel like this stuff up here with the social stuff was a total distraction. Sure, you may have gained things from it in the past, but now it's kind of become something that isn't serving you. And the Seven of Cups reversed is saying, tune into your own intuition and your own inner wisdom and really begin to own that truth within yourself. You're beginning to make decisions that are aligned. And rather than what we're tempted by or what other people want us to do and influencing that, we are beginning to make decisions based on what feels true to us. So this is about tuning into yourself, making decisions with your own inner wisdom, and you don't have to search outward for that. This isn't going to be served up on a silver platter by somebody else. This is something that you have within yourself. Our second advice card is the World reversed. And what I get from this card is that you may have had an image or a vision of how you saw your life going in one way, and it's really not going in the direction that you expected. And this is not good or bad that it's happening this way. It's just different. And what this is kind of asking you to do this month is to accept that things are moving in a different direction. And it's time to kind of look for closure within yourself. This is also about closing chapters that have been open that don't need to be open anymore. So with your, unresolved relationships, with anything like that that's been going on, if you feel like you've been betrayed by somebody, the solution is not to go to that person to get that closure, right? They've kind of already shown you who they are, or they've shown you how they're going to react, at least at this point in time. It's really about time to seek closure within yourself. That's really what we're doing this month. And this is a really great time to do it in the month of December. As we are wrapping up this year. And so both of these cards are talking about using your own inner wisdom and relying on yourself right now in terms of, and relying on the growth that you have done over this past year as well, because it's saying that you've grown immensely and you're ready to move on. You're ready for progress. Don't let this stuff hold you back. Don't let other people tell you what decision you should be making. You can rely on yourself right now and your own intuition. And it's important that you close the chapters that need to be closed and look for that closure within yourself and not other people. what we have here is what we want to leave behind in 2021. Okay, we're at the end of the year, so let's see, what are we being asked to move on from? And we have the Four of Pentacles reversed. So what I'm getting here is this is really about holding down what you have and really trying to lock in things you have. And I kind of see this as scarcity mindset in some ways. You know, in this image, our person here is, you know, he has these pentacles, he has this wealth, but he's holding on to it so tightly that he's not able to get up and go and enjoy the city scene behind him, right? So this is kind of preserving things, you know, and this can be positive in some cases, but we're asked to leave it behind because we're not able to get up and explore. This is kind of the opposite of the Stork card here. The Stork's all about moving on and being free and progressing, and he's kind of stuck where he is. So this is saying it's time to kind of get out of the scarcity mindset. If you're worried about losing people and not being able to make new friends, or, you know, have new people in your life that that can kind of fill that void, it's saying don't worry about that so much. If we kind of have this mentality that we have to hold on to everything for dear life, then, you know, we're going to remain stuck. So this is saying it's time to leave behind the scarcity mindset. It's time to get up, walk away from the pentacles, and know that you will find more. You will find things that are more aligned for you, and you don't have to hold on to things that no longer suit you. And last but not least, this is the gift that we are being given at the end of 2021 here that we're going to carry into 2022. And we have the Lovers card, which I just love to wrap up this reading. So what we see here are kind of unaligned relationships, right? We see social circles and people that aren't in service of in our best and highest good. And the Lovers card is about finding people that we do fit with, that we do fit well with, that we have this kind of symbiotic kind of relationship with. And this is the gift that's being given to you. So it's kind of even affirming here with Four of Pentacles. You don't need to hold on so tightly to things that aren't working for you. Instead, just know that this is a gift being presented to you. So if you've been seeking people who are aligned with you, if you've been seeking relationships that fulfill you, this is the gift that's being given. But I kind of see the price is leaving behind people and leaving behind things that aren't in alignment for you. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm getting here. So I feel like this will depend on kind of what you decide to do with these situations. Just know that you can trust your growth, that you can trust in yourself and your own intuition, and to make decisions in accordance with that. And let yourself outgrow the people and situations that no longer serve you. You are the Stork. You can rise above these things and move toward a better climate for yourself. And that is the message for our Snowflake pile. Okay, if you selected the Trumpet pile, last but not least, this is for you. This is your message for the month of December. And this top card is the area of your life that is coming into importance this month, or kind of the theme that things are around. And we have the Child card. So you could see this as representing children in your life, but immediately what I got is newness and being almost reborn. That was the immediate feeling that I got here. This is about embarking on something new, and there's this kind of fresh energy that's being sprinkled here. That's what I felt with the Child card being pulled. Now let's take a look at what you may experience this month surrounding this theme. But remember, we are in December, so this could be a reflective reading for the rest of the year, or this previous year as well. So just remember to keep that in mind. It's probably not just this month. And what we have is the Key, the Anchor, the Stork, and the moon. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. And also what I'm really feeling here is that there's this awakening period that's happening. And I feel like you've already done a lot of the hard work to get to this point that you're at. But what I'm seeing is that you are on the path to secure success in your life, and you're finally beginning to move towards your dreams and your desires and what it is that you want. And what I'm getting here is that on this new path, it's saying success is ensured. You will be successful with this. And it's about continuing to make this choice to move towards your goals and your desires and what it is that you want. So this, I feel like, is huge. It's been a very transformative year for you. And I'm also feeling like this is kind of a new period of life that you're going to begin to enter into with this mentality. I kind of see this almost as a mantra for our trumpet people, that success is ensured if I continue to move towards what my goals and desires are. That's the mantra for you. So I would write that down and repeat it. Success is ensured if I move towards my goals and desires. And you're really turning over a new leaf here. You are, and it's so positive and aligned for you. So I'm just really excited for our trumpet folks here. And we will look at advice and things like that, but I think you've already done a lot of the hard spiritual work that it takes to get to this point. But it's important that you maintain this. Otherwise we wouldn't be seeing it, right? It's important that you maintain this mentality. Now let's look at our advice cards for the month of December for our trumpet folks. And we have the Tower reversed. Wow. Talk about personal transformation. So I see the Tower reverse is different from Tower upright, because usually the Tower upright, there's all these external factors that are kind of forcing us to change. And with the Tower reversed, what this is really telling us is that we are making this change. And we can see that up here, you know, we're moving towards our goals and our desires. And I think that's a result of some type of spiritual awakening. And it is really realizing that we need to adopt new belief systems that work for us, right? So with our mantra up here, we really need to adopt that. And it's important that we let go of the things that are no longer serving us. They're not helping us anymore. So we don't want to hold on to things anymore. This is a time to let go of things that aren't working for us, old thoughts, you know, especially from society. Because if you are actually pursuing what you want, even though society says they want that for you, you usually get very different messages when you actually start to do it. So this is the time to just really let go of beliefs that aren't serving you, kind of chuck them, let them fall from that dang tower, let them burn up. And you are really stepping in to claim who you are as almost an entirely new person. Our next advice card here is the Chariot reversed. And I think this is so interesting. We have two reversals again. So there's a lot of inner transformation, a lot of inner world stuff happening here. But the Chariot is asking you, before you move forward on your next project, before you move forward on, you know, just acting and going towards a goal, it's important to check in with this. Do I actually want this? Is this something I actually want to do? You want to make sure that whatever you're pursuing is aligned. So you don't just want to act for the sake of acting. You want to let yourself evaluate it and perhaps take the time to do it. You might feel this Chariot energy like, oh, let's chug along and let's just move forward and push. But that's not really where to direct your energy. You actually need to direct your energy first to deciding where you want to direct your energy. What is your intention? What do you want to accomplish? And it's really important that you decide how you're going to pursue these things. You want to look at your time commitments. You want to look at your own dedication and self-discipline, to make sure you have the things that you need in order to accomplish what you want. So this is a time to let go of things, and before moving forward 100%, you want to really make sure that you are going to take directed, aligned action. Let's now take a look at what we are being asked to leave behind in 2021. And we have the Hangman reverse. So he looks upright in this photo. And what I see this as is resistance to change. I also see this as trying to maintain the status quo and not being willing to see from a different perspective. We're leaving that behind. I feel like there's this huge spiritual awakening that's happening for our Trumpet folks. And when I say spiritual awakening, a lot of people think this means that we suddenly become enlightened overnight. But what it really means is that we are allowing in a consciousness shift. We are seeing things from a different perspective. And that's really what we see going on here. But in the past, we may not have felt that way. We may have felt a little out of control as this stuff is happening. Our ego really tries to hang on to normalcy. I always say our brain's like really predictable, square bear, boxy things. And when the Hangman is in his proper form here, upside down, we lose a lot of that. So what we're being asked to do is to surrender control, and we're being asked to continue to see things from a different perspective. So we want to leave behind this tight idea of control and move forward into a more open, and also in kind of a more approaching the world in a way that's a little bit more surrendered and open to the possibilities that may come. And finally, let's take a look at the gift that we are being given here in 2021 that we can carry forward into 2022. And we have the sun. And I just see this as moving into the light of personal truth, moving into the light of who we truly are, and not being afraid. We are not afraid to be who we are. I mean, look at this naked baby on the front here. We are not afraid anymore. And that's the gift we're being given. We're moving fully into the light, fully into the truth of who we are. And that's a beautiful thing. So all this kind of work that I feel like you've done, all this perspective shifting and all of this letting go of things that aren't serving and reevaluating, it's worth it, because look at where you're going. You're going into the sunlight, and you are beginning to really breathe in the truth of who you are. Okay, and that is the message for our Trumpet folks for the month of December. So please let me know what you picked down below in the comments. And if you would like to schedule a reading with me, you will also find a link to do that down below. Or if you are interested in reading Lenormand, I do have a free Lenormand mini course, which you can find at emilyrosedivination.com/mini course. It's 3 lessons and walks you through getting started with the cards. Thank you so much for joining me, and don't forget to like and subscribe.